Welcome back, 8th graders. Okay, be honest with me for a second. Have you ever scrolled past some totally wild claim on TikTok? Or maybe you're watching a YouTube Shorts video and you suddenly think to yourself, wait a minute, is this actually true? Well, today, we are going to learn exactly how to become official truth detectives when you're out there navigating the digital world. We're going to build a mental toolkit that helps you evaluate an author's purpose and credibility, ensuring you are never, ever easily fooled by the content you consume. We're kicking things off today with a pretty powerful command from Scripture. Dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. That's 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. You know, this really reminds us that evaluating information isn't just some academic exercise you do to get a good grade. It is actually a spiritual imperative. God calls us to be discerning. He wants us to guard our hearts and our minds by actively testing the information we let into our lives. Here is our roadmap for today. We are going to cover testing the spirits, uncovering the author's purpose, how to check credibility, some examples in the real world, and finally, the godly learner's philosophy. Section 1. Testing the spirits.
Here's the stark truth, guys. Not all information is created equal. We live in an age where literally anyone with a smartphone can publish anything online to an audience of millions. There is no internet police making sure every single post or video is 100% factual. Just because a post has a flashy graphic and a trending sound absolutely does not mean it is true. You're constantly at risk of believing false or highly biased information if you don't carefully check the source.
So whenever you read or watch something new, you have got to ask yourself this one fundamental question right away. Can I trust the person who wrote this? This single question acts as a shield for your mind. It stops you from just blindly accepting information, and it forces you to pause, think critically, and step right into your role as a truth detective.
Section 2. Uncovering the author's purpose.
Strong readers know that an author always has a goal. It's not just random words on a page. When someone creates content, they have a target in mind for you. Usually, they're writing to do one of 4 things. First, to inform, meaning they just want to teach you facts, kind of like a textbook. Second, to persuade. They want to change your mind and get you to agree with their opinion. Third, to entertain. They just want to capture your attention and, frankly, get you to like and subscribe. And fourth, sadly, sometimes they write to mislead, to intentionally trick you or spread false rumors. Knowing which category you are dealing with is literally half the battle.
You need to constantly ask yourself, why did this person write this? Finding that out is absolutely crucial, because you can figure out how the author's purpose actually affects the way the information is presented to you. For instance, if an author wants to persuade you to buy a certain brand of shoes, they're probably going to leave out the fact that those shoes fall apart after 2 months, right? Their purpose entirely shapes the facts they choose to share and the facts they choose to hide. Section 3. How to check credibility. Okay, so there are 3 super simple steps you can take to figure out if an author is actually credible. First, check their background. What are their qualifications? Like, is the person writing about heart surgery an actual doctor or just a random guy with a keyboard? Second, look for evidence. Do they provide reliable data, statistics, or quotes from real experts to back up their claims, or are they just making wild statements out of nowhere? Third, check for balance. Is their argument fair and well-rounded, or is it super biased, only showing one side of the story? If they pass all 3 of these checks, you've likely found yourself a highly credible source. Section 4. Examples in the real world. Let's compare 2 sources to see how this plays out. Think about an official government weather site updating you on a hurricane. That is purely meant to inform you for your safety. Because it's official and relies on verified meteorological data, it's highly credible. But consider a blog post arguing for renewable energy policies. Its purpose is mostly to persuade you, often using a lot of emotion. Now, persuasive writing isn't automatically bad, but it requires your truth detective skills to be on high alert, so you don't just accept everything they say as pure, unbiased fact.
Or let's look at another comparison. A credible medical source, like maybe a hospital's official website explaining nutrition, is going to rely on rigorous, peer-reviewed evidence. But what if a fitness influencer makes a post claiming their new energy drink will cure literally all your problems, while citing 0 actual evidence? That lack of reliable data is a massive red flag. It severely reduces the author's credibility. As truth detectives, you should spot that red flag instantly and choose not to trust or share that information.
To make sure these concepts really stick, let's go over your homework questions for this week.
You'll be naming 2 ways to check credibility, explaining how purpose affects presentation, giving an example of a credible medical source, explaining why we should be cautious with persuasive writing, and naming 1 major credibility red flag. Review these carefully so you are totally ready to discuss them in class.
Section 5. The Godly Learner's Philosophy.
At HeroesMart Academy, we purposely intertwine biblical morality with your education, because education without morality can actually hurt you. Simply making you more capable and intelligent just isn't enough. Your knowledge must be guided by truth so you can make wise, God-honoring choices. Being a truth detective online is directly connected to being a pursuer of God's ultimate truth.
Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7 teaches us, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." You see, when we let the chaotic online world tell us what is true without checking the facts or the source, we fall straight into a carnal mindset. But maintaining a spiritually minded focus, anchoring your intelligence in God's wisdom as you navigate the world's information, that is what will lead you to a life of true peace and steady wisdom.
So, I'm going to leave you with this challenge. The next time you are about to hit share on a viral post, will you act as just a worldly follower or a godly truth detective? I encourage every single one of you 8th graders to passionately pursue academic excellence this week while keeping your mind totally centered on God, truth, wisdom, and righteous choices. Have an absolutely amazing week of learning, keep testing those spirits, and I will see you in our next lesson.